Best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me for. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back to another episode of the Aggressively Average Angler podcast. Today, we're taking questions. That's literally the agenda, if you will. We got a big old blank document for our show notes, and technically it's not blank. I have like 34 questions from you awesome folks, mostly from one person.
Yes,
I should say. So Jones JS 8898 has left us about 30 questions himself.
he had topics for days.
We got tons and tons of questions that you guys have sent in. I've got a bunch on Instagram as well that I will also pull up, and we're going to burn through them. I thought this would be I didn't think this. Paul thought this would be a great idea, and I agreed with him because it's been a while. To his point, he was like, hey, you know what we haven't done in like a really long time? It's like an Ask Me Anything or a viewer questions episode. And I was like, yes, you're right. That sounds like a blast. So that's what we're doing tonight. It would be probably the most engaging that we've been on this show. And we're going to try to do that a lot more. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I don't want this to just devolve into a learning podcast because that's not what it is. I want to be off the rails more often. I want to talk to my chat. I want to talk to you guys. My nerds are the best. And on the rail counter, that's it, shots.
We talked about that before.
From the off the rails to on the rails. I love it. The one rail podcast now, it's like, how long can they be on the rails? Not often, hopefully. So yeah, if you guys have other questions, if you didn't post it in the YouTube community area where I had asked for the questions, or if you didn't do it on the Instagram story, that's fine. Just put it in chat. And if Chaz sees something that he deems worthy for the show, then he's going to copy and paste it into our show notes so that we can go through it. All right. So we'll get into that in a second. Real quick, guess how many days are left in the entirety of the Knucklehead Bass series, for us at least? One day. There's 1 day left, and that's it. This is your last chance. If you haven't registered and you have a chance to fish tomorrow, you could still register and go do it. Most likely, everybody's done. All right. So I haven't looked at it. I got to look at it. I heard Burly got some that were denied because he didn't have a catch board. His catch board had broken, and that is so rude and unfortunate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Fishin Chaos, and while I do that, you want to shout out any of our sponsors?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
as always, we've got the illustrious Monster Bass coming in at helping out the show, being wonderful for all of us, except they owe us an apology, official, on written letterhead. They are having their live show right now on the same night as us on Wednesdays. So that's new
Starting
and
next week.
not improved. So
rude. Like
thanks,
that is the
but no
second
thanks.
time. That's the second time that Rick has moved days to our day.
Yes.
Never do I get a call from Rick. Hey,
Not thrilled.
What day do you guys go live? Oh, we go live on Wednesdays at 8:15. Oh, I'm going live on Wednesdays.
Oh, I'll
Okay,
be
cool.
there Wednesday 8:30.
Cool. Thanks, Rick. See you later.
Someone who didn't do that to us, Mule Fishing. We love their extra stretchy plastics and that they don't have a live stream. Same with Busby, not on Wednesday nights, and they make invincible boxes, which I proved this past weekend. And Akuma, who I didn't realize this, Jeff, I don't know if you knew this, but the bass reel that they dropped, the X series.
Don't say Bass X. It's not Bass X.
The X series, X series reel that they dropped. So we saw the rods. We did videos on them. If you're not familiar, they have a new series of rods coming out. They are very light. They're wonderful. Very impressed. They have a reel that goes with it. It's $260 exclusive on Tackle Warehouse. We won't get them for a whole year. I am not happy because they look like spaceships. They're unbelievable. So everyone should go check those out. Not just because, they help support the show and are cool to work with and make great stuff, but they just make good stuff that's like that you can only get there. You should go check it out. I looked at it and I was like, I'll take 5. They look friggin' sweet.
Yeah, the X series rods blew our minds. Absolutely so exploded my dome.
Like
it was
they're
insane.
So light. So if you had an X series combo, baitcaster and a baitcasting reel, the whole thing, the whole combo is like, I think it comes out to like 11 ounces. It's insane. Unheard of. It's unheard of. It's completely bonkers.
So good. So
for $500. Anyways, that's all. That's what I got for you.
Yeah. So real quick, Knucklehead Bass Series update. Steven Scott, our boy, 102.5 inches, first place, Team Flanders. Alfredo Nunez, 93.75 inches, second place. Charles Fox, who has been hitting me up on Instagram as well, 87.75 inches, third place on your team, first place on my team because my team is struggling.
Oh, Team Stark taking a nap.
Finally, because we just beat you up for 2 months.
2 months?
2 months, yeah. It's been literally back and forth. Chaz, back me up on it. See, nodding from Chaz in the background. Charles Fox first on my team. Michael Menges second place, and then Christopher Rocca in third place with 86 inches. So there we go.
With ease, dropping just about 90 inches.
That's probably it. And unless somebody has time to get out tomorrow and they can put up a 19, 20 plus incher, that's probably the standings. So this will be it. That's a wrap. We're going to hear from Mr. Hoover who ended up on which teams. So we'll be staying tuned for that. We'll let you guys know once that happens. And of course, we'll be down in Alabama in November. So if you guys are in the area or want to be, come hang out with us. We'll do an impromptu meetup. I think it'll be a blast. All right. So that's it for the series. Let's get into the show. We're going to start with our Q of the D. It's a question-oriented show. So the first question comes from us, though. And then we're going to take all of your guys' questions. So first, this came to my mind because if you guys remember, I was born in 88, right? So I grew up in the Toonami era of Cartoon Network,
baby.
Dude. So Toonami always played these, I'll say violent, much more violent anime. There's much worse stuff out there. But they would play things that I would be watching the show and I'd be like, I'm probably not supposed to watch this. So I was thinking about this today because I've been seeing a few nostalgic posts on TikTok about these. What is a show or cartoon, if you want to go anime, cartoon, show that you watched as a kid? So you are under 13 right now, right? You're a little kid, Saturday morning, cartoons, whatever. Parents aren't up yet. Or maybe it's late at night. You're watching a show that you're not supposed to watch. What was that show? Or what's an example of that?
Are you asking me, do you have your answer?
I have some answers. One of them was, do you guys remember Cowboy Bebop? Yeah.
Very violent.
It's very violent anime. It's kind of super weird.
Extremely.
Yeah. Space outlaw, bounty hunter kind of
anime, though. Anime, very Asian inspired.
It was always promoted on Toonami for the late night stuff.
Yes.
So sometimes, eventually I got a chance to have a TV in my room, a little tiny guy that I got at a garage sale. don't get too excited. It was one that I bought with my money at a garage sale, and I hooked my PS2 up to it. But like I had that little TV in my room, and I could watch Toonami, so I watched it like late night a few times, and then the obvious other one would be South Park, because like that came out in 90. Oh man, I guess 98. So that would have been 10. So it was a pretty raunchy show, and I was watching that all the time. What about you?
I'm seeing a lot of Beavis and Buttheads. Ren and Stimpy was off limits for us for some reason. We were younger than 13. For a lot of
people. What do you mean have you seen it recently? Like it's for a reason.
Oh, really?
Those were unhinged.
They were absolutely unhinged.
I'm sure our parents saw them, and they were just like, oh my God.
You know what show was unhinged that had like no guardrails on it? Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh my God.
Oh yes.
That was creepy. Of nightmares. My nightmares are still fueled by all of the bad things that happened in Courage the Cowardly Dog. The animation on that stuff was wild. Completely.
Yeah.
Unhinged is the exact perfect word for it. A torrent of nightmarish things just came out in that show.
So scary.
Bonkers. Yeah, and it had a spooky vibe. The voices were horrific. It was a great show.
Feather Outdoors. I was all about DBZ. You know, we're both all about DBZ.
Big DBZ nerd.
And that said, it was never really violent enough that my parents would be like, you can't watch that. Like they would have.
Gundam Wing.
That was all day long.
Gundam Wing was one of the underrated ones. Reboot was one that my parents did not care for.
Really?
Yes. I loved Reboot. That was a great show.
That's so appropriate for a younger age. There's nothing until the older seasons when they all grew up.
There's a lot of guns though.
Kind of.
He had the one gun. He had the gun where he would hold his hand. He would hold his hand out, and the gun would spin, and it would point targets on everyone's heads. Do you remember that? Was that the intro? God, that was cool. I never
was that
really.
Enzo or Bob's gun?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I'll have to look it up. But no, I never really watched anything that I probably wasn't supposed to. Ren and Stimpy was probably the closest thing. To be honest, we didn't have as much opportunity to watch things you weren't supposed to watch.
Yeah,
we just didn't.
When you were, when we were kids,
it wasn't that bad.
You had to stay up super late to catch it, like 11, 12.
Past midnight.
Past midnight. For some of the worst shows would be on like 1 to 3 or 4 a.m. So you had to stay up all night to watch it.
It was way more about watching a volume of television. I would watch way more than I'd be allowed. So they would be like, you can watch TV after practice before dinner. That was like an hour. You get back from like whatever
minimal
practices
time
you had at like 6 o'clock, and then you had an hour, and then you would eat with the family. You had the hour. That was Toonami time. But then I would like, after everyone else went to bed, I would sneak up and I would watch like 4 hours of TV for no reason. And that's that's when you would get in trouble.
Yeah, every time I did that, I would be like, man, I probably shouldn't be doing this. And like, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. But I was a kid, so it
doesn't matter. No, I'm never tired. I'm still not tired. The Tom Green Show is a good answer.
Tom Green Show.
That is a show you were not supposed to watch. 100%.
Dude, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. You wouldn't realize
say Coast to Coast, baby.
Was a show that you weren't supposed to watch until you got halfway into an episode and you're like, what's happening?
Well, you didn't even know. It was subtle. No. It was adult humor. You didn't really get it. Yeah,
it was always over your head, right? Debo called out Gargoyles. It was fantastic.
Love Gargoyles.
Not something that would be disallowed. It fell into the Batman animated series.
Thundercats, Batman Beyond.
Yeah, all those shows.
What were
the violent, but like
Street Cats?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Gold.
Yep.
Also had gargoyles in it. Yeah, dude, there was that was the golden age of television. I'm just saying.
There were so many hits, and they were all to sell toys. But they were
Street Sharks. What a good freaking call!
Speaking of the devil,
Gundam
they were all
Wing
the
was like such a good show. All the different Transformers reboots you had, like all the different Batmans were still out.
Yeah.
You had 3 different kinds of Spider-Man you could watch.
Exactly. There's a million. Man. There's a million things. But all right. So I knew that would spur some discussion. But let's get into the many bajillions of questions that we were going to answer.
Robot Chicken and Beast Wars. Okay, let's do it.
Have you seen Beast Wars recently? It's terrible. The animation
it used to be dope though.
The animation is unwatchable, my friend.
It used to be so dope.
All right. So we got some questions. Let me pull up these Instagram ones first, just because it's easier. We'll knock this out. Then we got some YouTube ones. Okay, first one. MWM 07GT. Man, saying usernames is gonna be so fun today. When is Paul fishing with the 3-piece rod in a crop top? I was promised it. I was promised it during iCast.
Good question. We don't have a lot of time left.
Oh, there is always time for a crop top. And you could just make one out of that Monster Bass shirt right there. So
I think next week. Should we say next week?
I'll say this weekend at the cottage, he's going to send you a picture.
No, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be on the river, whole video.
Slide into your DMs.
Get out of here, dude. No, whole video. I won't slide in. I'll come into that DM like a wrecking ball.
Fair enough. What 3-piece are we talking about?
That's what I was wondering. Do we have a 3-piece? Have we even heard of a 3-piece? I have a 2-piece. Actually, I don't. Jeff has one.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
Someone asked the question. Someone asked me what happened to the Cast King Featherlight. Someone asked about that.
Why did someone ask? Did they assume?
Someone should ask.
Someone.
So I can
ask. Go ahead, chat. Ask what happened to the Featherlight.
So
there you go.
We were gifted very generously from someone at Cast King 2 setups. We had a Featherlight. I fished with it for about 13 minutes. After about the 15th cast, something happened. I'm pretty sure my 132-ounce jig hit the tip wrong when I was on the back cast. And when I cast it forward, all I saw was a little
splinters
of graphite shooting out into oblivion. And I was like, well, that's weird. I don't remember that. And so I looked at the tip of my rod and it was broken. So didn't last long. Never caught a fish on it. That's a bad way to go.
That's a really bad. So
bad way to go.
Yeah, to our folks at Cast King that sent us that rod. Sorry, from Paul. My rod, on the other hand, is perfectly fine, and I will be fishing it, and I will catch a fish on it. So there, until we get our own ultralight rods in stock, because I still don't have one. Oh, I'd love to have that, Rick. Maybe as an apology from you taking over our live that we've already locked down forever and ever, you could send me one of our rods that has our name on it. Thank you. Brown Bait Co. with the next question. What technique has been the most fun to learn for you guys? Examples: wacky rig, jig, frog, glide bait. You could go way back on this too. It doesn't have to be anything recently, but anything come to mind for you? Because I know for me, and I knew he was going to say it. No. The fluke was great, but that was more of a surprise. Obviously it works, and now you love it. Glide baits, because I was so scared to try them because they're so expensive and like I don't want to lose it. It's always risky. But learning the new gear, because you got like a different rod and reel that you're using for it, typically oversized reel, oversized rod, built really well, using heavier line, you're throwing big baits. Throwing big baits is weird and different. Like it was just so new. It was just brand new territory. So that was really fun. Like once I just like stopped dipping my toe in the water, just dove straight in. It was great. And then catching on them, so rewarding. So yeah, it'll always be that for me. Yep.
For the same reason, I would say ultralight. It's really not close.
Yeah.
It's really not close. That has been, it totally changed the way that I fish and the way I think about fishing, and it's ultralight.
Yeah, 100%. That would be like my.
We really went the opposite ways with that one.
Well, those are my two.
You're like
most favorite things.
Gigantic big baits, the biggest ones that you could buy. I'm like, tiny little widow guys, the littlest ones you can buy.
Anybody live in space. Exactly. Next up, we're still on Instagram here. B Dooley, have you been recognized anywhere yet from your YouTube channel? B Dooley, no, absolutely not.
Really?
No. Have you?
Yes, multiple times.
Good for you.
Once at Meyer, just this year, and then a couple times at Bass Pro Shops. But I think it was because I had the Burly hat on, and that triggered
I don't wear any of our clothes. I'm just kidding. I do. But
I do all the time. I wear the old hat. I wear this one. I still love this hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's hanging in my basement as well. So I will say on our lakes near here, like if that counts, but like I live here, so I don't know my neighbors. We don't live close to anyone. If you guys see my house, it's surrounded by woods. So it's not like I walk by and say, hey, neighbor. I don't know my neighbors like Paul knows his neighbors. In Paul's neighborhood, everybody gets together and they all hang out. In my neighborhood,
everyone. I know every single person.
I don't know a single. I mean, I like I'm running with my dog and I'm like hi, right or whatever, but that's it. But I can go fishing. I'm out of the lake. People drive by on their pontoon. They're like, hey, you. Like, so I do. I guess I get that, but like, no, not generally. Not something I'm too worried about. I kind of don't want that much, anyways.
No. Yeah.
All right. So then we got Sudsy on the water.
My boy.
Sudsy
That's
on
my
the
boy.
water. Oh no, my boy. What is your go-to for fishing a river with a fairly rocky bottom?
Go ahead.
Ned's ball head jigs and football jigs all day long, forever and ever.
Yeah,
And then
the
square
only thing,
bills.
the only thing I would add to Ned rig, which is going to be my answer, would be a shaky head. So
Yeah.
I would go shaky head. Now, the other thing that's been a big one for me in the last couple of years has been like a football head jig. So
Yep.
number 1 Ned rig, number 2 shaky head, number 3 football head jig. That's where I would go. All
Yeah.
like
Or a
bottom
wobble.
contact stuff. Yep.
Wobble head. I had to bust out the football heads this weekend. We were out on the river and we were just like striking out for long stretches of river, and then you'd be like, catch one, and then long stretch of nothing,
Yeah.
catch one. And it
Some
was
of it
like
was we weren't even fishing consistently either. Like it was rare that we got to
no,
cast at a spot more than twice.
we didn't have enough time to just stop and putt around and like really spend the time figuring it out. So I was going to like, okay, I know there's a fish under that tree, and I would skip a Ned, and I was running the copper truce, never lets me down, hula sticks on an EWG chartreuse head because the river was muddy. And we caught some really nice fish doing that. There's lots of little itty bitty pike, but I caught a 17.5-inch smallie under a tree. So that was pretty sweet. So yeah, give that a shot. And then Sarah Van and Sealin.g.
Of course. Yes.
yeah, of course. Says deep sea fishing ? Answer: ain't no salt around here, brother, but I would love to go deep sea fishing. I mean, we're gonna have to do a charter.
Yeah, it's like it's tough for us because it's not part of our culture, but I would love to. And I see people doing it all the time, and I'm always incredibly jealous. Especially the people in like the Northeast who get to do like striper,
Oh,
like
the combo,
most of the year and stuff. Like that's the coolest.
So jelly. Also, hi Dad, I see you in chat. Thanks for complimenting my neon. I gotta go build a deck with this guy this weekend because he had to rip out his whole deck and everything. So yay. At least I don't think
it's a good holiday.
I don't think it's gonna be too hot this weekend, but it's gonna be super hot next week. So maybe.
This was like 110 or something.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Michigan. That's insane. All right. Going to YouTube now, and I'm still looking. I know. All right, so I'll do this. Burly, because you're a Snorlax crew member and you're our boy. I'm going to answer your question that you put in live show chat today. At what, Chaz? 3:30. 3:30. We weren't even like close to being live. It's like the moment that it was put up that we're going live, he put a comment in. So thank you so much for that, man. So here's his question: if you could redo one decision in your life, oh no, we're doing this, that would not massively alter your current life, i.e., same family, friends, etc. So career plan, where you live, etc. What would it be?
So can't change those things.
I think so. It was like spaced out, but I think he means family, friends, career plan, where you live, etc. You can't change any of those. Okay. Correct.
Oh, I already know. Go ahead. Are you ready?
No, yeah, you go. I don't know.
No, mine's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Career path for sure.
I think you just said you can't change that.
No, like schooling, just schooling. Even if my career path is the same as schooling.
Oh, okay.
I really, 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 really regret taking like a general like education, like a marketing degree, because I was like, I can ace all the classes and I'll make money. I really regret that. And I have a minor in philosophy, which I took just for fun, and I loved it. And now if I could go back, I really wish I could like study things. I wish I would have studied things that I just wanted to study. Like I knew myself well enough to like take graphic design classes, entrepreneurship classes, like more reading classes, like stuff like that. I wish I took more of that and way less of the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, Paul's answer kind of falls into that anyways.
Same thing. I probably would have done something different. But even if I couldn't change that, like just what I'd studied in school, I would definitely change that.
So I don't know that I would. I thought about that. I've thought about it before. Maybe I wouldn't do 4 years of college, but I'd probably still be doing the same thing career-wise because I like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy there. So if it was one major decision that I would change, that is like a really complex, tough question. Yeah.
What about a white truck instead of a black one?
I have a white truck.
It's a joke.
You're a joke. All right. I would have
You
never
wouldn't have made that joke. You take that one back.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I regret a lot, so I don't think I would have changed.
It's not about regret. It's not about regret. I don't regret what I did.
It's a different decision.
That doesn't mean I regret.
Like,
I have no regret about what I did.
I wouldn't change anything though. Like I don't know what I would change. I can't think about it.
I think it's weird. I think it is unfair to like judge yourself. You can't possibly know yourself well enough to like make those decisions and like to ask someone who's like 19 to like take the right stuff in school is insane. I don't regret what I did. That being said, if I knew myself like I know myself now, I would definitely have studied different things at school, and I would have gotten a lot more out of it.
I'll tell you what it is. I would have spent a lot more time just getting to know people that are a lot better than me at what I like to do.
True.
Rather than learning the craft as hard as I tried to learn it, I would learn the people who do the craft better than I do, and therefore ipso facto would have learned the craft and had the connections that would have allowed me to do things I wanted to do. So there you go. If there's one thing I would have changed, it would have been spent a lot more time with people and a lot less time with books and certifications.
True. Good one.
All right. Question. But yeah, that's great, man. Let's go to YouTube here. So I'm just going, I don't know, I guess top to bottom here with this. Some of these are quick and easy. So here's one from SH Pupley. These names are so
my
funny,
boy.
You guys. Spupley says, I'd love to hear about your thoughts on the Hakai now after a whole season. Multiple, exactly. Thinking about picking up a couple before the Dream Tackle versions are all gone. I mean, they're still going to make the reel as far as we know. It's just slightly different, but it's still very similar to the flight spool. So I wouldn't be too worried about that, but yeah, pick them up if you can. Actual question might be, where does the love for Akuma come from? I love them too, just curious. So, I mean, quick on the Hakai. I love it. It's one of my favorite reels in my arsenal. Regardless of liking Akuma or not, I prefer to fish it over many of my other reels. You?
Yeah, it's super solid. I think it's the deciding, because it's so expensive, the deciding factor when people ask me is like, one, do you throw
how much you want to spend?
Well, do you spend if you're going to spend $250, is it important for you to be able to throw a wide range of weights?
Right.
Because that's one thing it does really well, in my opinion.
Right.
It also has a really, really nice drag. So if drag is like, if you're in the South, drag's going to be important for you. That's a big win for me. The last thing is lightness important to you with your setups? Like if you fish lose, I don't think weight is like a big deal for you. You like feeling something in hand that's solid, like a nice chunk that feels like good in hand. Some people really like to have a nice light combo. The Hakai, you're paying for the weight and the feel of it and the drag, and then being able to throw some super light stuff and get away with murder as far as like the weight range. So if that sounds good to you, get that reel. It does those things super well. If you don't like care about those things, you're paying $250 for something that you don't need. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and there are many, many fantastic options too. Everybody's point out there at that at that point,
bunch of them
at that price point. So
as I say, like at $250, it's hard to be like, well, that's the only one you should get. That's not true.
No,
but it is like one of the lightest reels you can get for $250, and the drag is super, super nice. Like it's a great reel for $250, but like it just depends on what you want out of a reel. That's what you're getting with that guy.
Yeah, and overall, like the love for Akuma for us comes from like their transparency. They put us on calls, explain all the baits to us. No other company that I work with does that. Like they're just like, here's everything we're doing this year. I know well in advance, and I know why it's being done, and I know how it works. No other company I've worked with has done that. So big time kudos to those guys. And they make one of the best economy reels for spinning on the market. Hands down, bar none.
This is the Cymar. You
Yep.
can get this for like nothing. And this is a huge deal. Like they don't have like the breadth of a lot of the other companies that are out there.
No, and I don't love everything that they have.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not even looking at
I
3/4 of their stuff.
But on the spinning side, it's like good luck beating this ever. And then the reel that they just dropped, the Inspira, the new one, it's gonna be the cheapest aluminum or metal frame reel that you can get. So it's $100 and it's worth $150. Like, I don't know. I like that a lot. This stuff is a big deal to me.
Yep. Awesome. Great question. So then we go to Jones JS 8898 with 43 questions. Here we go. Can having too many baits, setups, etc., paralyze or hamper your decision making on the water? Paul, I'm curious. How do you feel about that?
So glad you asked. I would definitely say yes, but it's a preference thing. Some people, I think it can work really well for you, and some people it doesn't. So for me, I am learning that it is more of a hindrance for me than a help. I find that when I have I ditched the tackle bin last year in favor of a couple of bags. I ditched even more of that because I had to, just because I didn't have the space. And now that I'm building a couple of setups, like new kayak setups, my goal is really I'm gonna have one box of hard baits, one larger box of plastics, and then terminal, 2 boxes of terminal. That's it. That's what I'm bringing on the water forever and ever. So I like that. I totally respect people that don't, but I think it's a good point. It does for me. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm definitely in the middle. I'm in the middle. Like I like to have 5 or 6 tackle boxes with me, one of which is a go-to day box, one of which is a go-to terminal box. And then I have my go-to plastics in a bin under my seat because I have the space in the Hobie. I had to downsize, obviously, with the Shoaly. So going out on the water, honestly, with the Shoaly, I had 3 rods. I wanted to have only 2. I did not want to have 3 that day. I was very upset with the extra rod management, and I almost lost the Gas King combo because it was standing up behind me, and there was so many trees down. So that said, just rod and reel wise, but like tackle wise, I was still able to bring 4 or 5 boxes with me. So I was like totally fine. The day box for me is the solution. I pack into there, like based on where I'm fishing, based on the time of year, based on, what's going on that time of year. Like I can get prepped and like have stuff ready to go. And if those don't work, I'm always thankful to have like the other stuff that I'm pretty sure will work. So I'm in the middle, but I'm also not bringing like, 2 tackle boxes of lipless crankbaits. Like I'm just not. I'm not even bringing one box of all lipless.
I had one medium deep, one of the Busby medium deep boxes, and that was more than I needed for the day.
For that day, for sure. And we needed less really because there was only like 2 or 3 things that actually were working. So, but yeah, great question. Love it. And everybody should consider that. How much is too much for you when you start developing the kitchen sink bait pile? We call it the bait graveyard in the front or the side or the back of your boat. You're making faces. What are you looking
Rocka. Hashtag Heidi Ho.
Hi diddly ho.
Hi diddly
ho. So quick 2 shout outs. We'll do that. Army Outdoors 88N and Rocka Blades for being a part of the Snorlax crew for a very long time. 29 months for Army Outdoors. Gosh dang. What a relationship we have. And 25 for Rocka Blades. Army Outdoors says, what up, fellas? A little late to the chat. Let's get off the rails counter ticking up. Question, how far is too far for a day fishing trip? Miles or hours? I'm struggling with that in California. I'm assuming traveling to and then how much time you're fishing. And honestly, Paul and I, if we struggle with anything, it's never, ever, ever having enough time. So too far for me right now is like 30 minutes. And it's just because I know we'll get there, we'll film something, we'll get on the water. I'll have 3 hours to actually fish, 2 hours to rushed fish, and then I got to go home. So I don't want to go far. I do not want to travel 2 hours. The question you got to ask yourself is, how much time do I have? And Ralph, I know you, like, if you're going for the day fishing, if you got the day, then I would travel 2 hours. I would get up hella early and travel 2, maybe even 3. If there's like a really good spot, I mean, if you can get in some trophy fish, like I'm gonna get up at 3 a.m. and like go 3 hours. And I do not like to get up early. So that's telling you something. Like I would make that trip. If you got the day, it depends on how much time you have available. Paul, thoughts?
If you're driving more than you're fishing, it's too far.
That's fair. And I would say if you
3 hours there, 3 hours back, you only fish 4 hours too far.
Well, you're assuming that they only fished 4 hours. You don't know that.
That's what
They
I'm
could
saying.
get up
But
at
it's a
3.
general, so then it's not
Yeah.
too far.
Yeah.
If you fish for 9 hours, but you drove 4.5,
Yep.
that's fair.
Totally fair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you fish,
Get up
if you
earlier,
drove
stay
4.5
later.
hours, you fish for 3 hours, and you drove
Yep.
4.5 back, it's too far. So
That's
my rule.
fair.
If you drive more than you fish, too far.
Yeah, and right now for us, that's 1 hour. Like that's too far.
And that has become pretty much the limit.
Yep. So we're staying close, you guys, until we figure something else out. But let's go to Rocca's question then. So if you could go back in time and personally witness 3 historical moments.
Come on, man. Come on.
What would they be?
Yeah, like let's
Rocca.
do one each. We're gonna do one each.
Okay, go ahead.
3
I got one that would
historical moment.
One that would blow my mind would be like the moon landing. Just like a situation where everybody's face is glued to the television. And there are many of those in history. But that's one really good one. That's like television's getting hot in the 60s. And you've got this like his crazy space race going on. That would have been just kind of nuts to be around. What about you?
I would pick something that I am pretty sure is like historically inaccurate, like something very, very, very long ago.
Sure.
Like when Jesus came back from the dead, or like when
Columbus landed, and like
yes,
was he chill or like not chill?
I want it. Yes, it would be something like that, like something that's like a very big JFK assassination is a good one.
The American Lion, was he really like a cool guy, or like was he not?
It would be something like that, and I just desperately would want to know like how accurate is our perception of that right now, like the signing of the Declaration of Independence. I'm sure was a disaster, and I would love to know how that actually went versus like how it's like depicted. Those things to me, I like constantly think about stuff like that. It would be something like that.
Okay. He had a second part.
Yeah, it's a 5-parter. Yeah.
This is a 17-parter. If you could relive one moment from your personal past, what one would it be? We'll leave that one up to a fantasy. Anyways, next. Tell you on the members only live, Rocca. Ask us again. Let's jump to a question here on YouTube. So we've got okay. Jones JS 8898. A catchboard is just another piece of equipment I got to be toting around. We all take pics of our fish. Can you guys just build an app that just computes the fish's length when the photo is taken? I agree with you.
I think it's a really fair. That's totally fair though, because like to me, I'll say this.
How cool would that be?
I don't like that we have to use a catchboard. That has always kind of irked me personally.
Oh, you mean like a monopoly?
Yeah,
like I don't like
it's like,
brand.
oh, this is my friend, and so if you want to fish chaos, you have to use my friend's company. Like, I don't like that. But I get it. I'm not saying it's not right. I don't like it. So, and they're not the cheapest one. That's also the thing that bothers me, even though they have a $30. Anyways, that would be really cool. You're right. Great. It's 2023. We probably should have that. But there's a whole lot of things wrong with why that doesn't exist. But it should be a thing.
Yep. Totally agree. Would love to see that.
Not a Bob 7 says, screw that. Don't take long arming away from us.
Because then they'll develop the app that can like deconstruct your pictures. You're like, hey guys. And they're like, actually, that was a 4.8 pounder and it was only 17 inches. You liar.
Oh, God.
I can't wait for the day technology will destroy some people.
It's perfect.
A bunch of phonies. That's who.
I love it.
All right. So this is a fantastic question. All right. Hear me out. Steinerp says, or asks rather,
yes, of course.
Do you actually fish or just review products for companies?
Oh, wait, I don't fish. What are you talking about? You have to answer.
Serious
Fair
answer.
enough. Period.
Listen,
Also,
here's the deal.
also,
We fish every week. We do have families that Paul has younger kids. So it's really hard to get away for any serious amount of time. So the amount of time we are allotted to actually fish is sub 6 hours, including drive time.
yeah.
And that's why we don't drive far.
Mhm.
So we do get to go out. Here's the deal, you guys. Think about it this way. If you had to wear a camera, like if you made it your job, you're going to wear a camera when you go fishing, and you have to get at least one, probably more likely 2 videos done while you're on the water. And you only have 6 hours, of which 1 hour is gone because you drove.
Another hour for setup and intro.
You got 4 hours to fish. So, I mean, the reason you guys don't see as many fishing videos, just being transparent with you, is that seriously just a lack of time. But yes, we do fish. We do not want to cling to reviews, but when you're trying to put out 2 videos a week and you don't get to fish that much, that's the content that makes it. And the big problem,
like, you have to fill the gap. You have to. So you guys
has
don't.
to be videos.
What
Like,
kind of makes me upset is that people are like,
give me more.
I don't think they respect the fact that, like, think about it this way, you guys. You guys, most of you have an Instagram. You
Mhm.
probably post once a month, maybe, on your Instagram, like where you actually put something out there. Maybe once a month. I personally am posting every morning before noon, 3 times on Instagram, 1 time on TikTok,
Mhm.
every single day of the week.
Mhm.
On top of that, I'm editing a YouTube video, and then I post 5 days a week in addition to the YouTube video. That's just me. That has nothing to do with Jeff.
Yep.
Do that for 4 years. You cannot fish enough.
For basically free.
For 100% free. You cannot fish enough. Think about that, though. That's like 50 posts a week.
Yeah.
Like, you post once a month, maybe.
Yeah.
Just post your grass for that long, you will quit.
Listen,
It's so hard.
The reason we don't work with like 20 companies is because every company is owed videos as well. And we literally already owe too many videos to too many people. So it's part of the problem, not the solution. So no, we don't love doing only reviews. That's just what lands. And also, in reality, it's what gets the most views on YouTube. And what other reason is there to do a YouTube channel than to get views and grow? So unfortunately, that's the hard truth. It sucks, but it is what it is. He did have a second question here, which I'll give credit to, which is, do you ever target non-bass? And if not, why not?
I saw this question. I was very confused by this question. I was like, have you met us
It seems
before?
targeted. It's like, why not? Like, our favorite fish to catch you guys is a pike. It's pike.
Like we target multi-species all the time. But anyways, so the short answer is yes. We target panfish quite a bit, like quite a bit. I love pike. That's probably my favorite fish to catch, and I go walleye fishing.
Crappie,
and I go
pike,
walleye fishing for personal fun.
walleye.
Just targeting walleye multiple times a year, and that's
Catfish.
taking into account the fact that I do a lot of catfishing. So that takes into that, and all that's taken into account that bass fishing is what pays the bills and what people want to see. And so all of my normal fishing time gets sucked up by that. So I just have to work twice as hard to make room for fishing stuff, and I still do it. So yes.
Yep. So keep in mind, there's like all sorts of stuff we'd love to do that we've done it. It does terrible on YouTube. So that tells us nobody wants to watch it. Therefore, we don't want to make it.
So it goes into my fun time.
Yeah. It goes into fun fishing time. We call fun fishing when we turn the camera off and we put it in a box and we say, bye-bye camera. And then we go have fun.
Yep.
And we do that. Not that often. I wish we did it more.
Every night after 9 p.m. at the cottage is catfishing time.
Yeah, and I've done that with you. It's a blast. I threw your chair into the fire one time. That was great because I had pliers on a key ring and it hooked the chair and a bell went off. So I go for the bell and I'm all excited. So I run and I just throw my chair across the fire.
Like you do.
I like to terrify your wife as much as possible.
Nicholas Hubert, member for 9 months of the Charducers. What's up, brother?
Cheers.
Says, my daughter would like to know, who took you fishing your first time? Are they still an inspiration for you fishing today, for your fishing today?
Oh, my dad's in chat. It was my dad. I was 3, and we had a pond behind our house in Florida. I used to live in Jacksonville, Florida, like at that time. And yeah, we were catching bluegill. I got there's pictures that are in every video because there's a little Polaroid that's up on a picture frame. That's from that time. So that's my time. What about you?
Technically, yeah, I have that, like, but it wasn't serious and no one knew what they were doing. And it wasn't a
Yeah.
consistent thing by any stretch. It would be like if someone went to a theme park, you wouldn't be like, "Well, do you love going to Six Flags because you went there when you were young?" Like, no, I don't. No. So I don't think
Yeah.
that really counts. So no one in my family really does any of this stuff. So actually though, hey, Haley bought me my first fishing rod. That's my wife. When I was in college, and then her dad really kind of showed me the ropes and like how to tie knots and like help me catch fish. And so
Hmm.
still yes, he's not around anymore. He's not here anymore, but definitely yes. And he's the one who kind of got me, well, definitely got me into fishing. So
Love that. That's awesome.
yeah.
All right, let's jump to another one on YouTube here. So, do you guys ever go to Jay's Sporting
Jay's
Goods?
Sporting Goods. So Jay's Sporting Goods is
This is Ryan Wilson 5936, by the way. Go ahead.
yeah, it's a retailer in Northern Michigan. So I actually go up there. So every year we go. Well, I guess last year we didn't get to go. We go hunting up north, deer hunting. We
Uh-huh.
go to the same spot every year. We never shoot any deer because it's not a great place to hunt, and no one takes it
This is just
seriously enough.
party.
Actually, that's not true. We have shot deer there before. So
Okay.
the buck I shot was there. Anyways,
Yep.
we go up there every year, and on the way we stop at Jay's and we buy stuff we don't need, and it's great. And Jay's Sporting Goods is pretty dope, and they are super nice people, and they make cool hats. So yes.
Nice. I dig it. No, I have never been. Didn't know it was a thing until just now. So neat.
Fair enough. It's pretty far north.
Yeah, I definitely would not have crossed paths with it. Colewood 8496. I love all these numbers. There's
My
so
other
many.
dog.
Are there any future plans to acquire a bass boat?
TBD on whether it's actually strictly a bass boat,
I
but
doubt it.
yeah, definitely gonna get a boat, and eventually it'll be a bass boat. So what I'm probably gonna end up with is like a multi-species boat with a front deck. So
Exactly.
a St. Clair boat that is like an aluminum boat that you can get more people on because I want to take my kids on it right now and have them be safe and not have them be in like a fiberglass diving board. So
Yep.
that's probably what it will be to start, but then like in 5 years, 6 years when they're a little older, I'll sell that and then convert that into a bass boat. So and then we obviously would fish on it. So I would say yes. I would say
Yep.
yes next year or two.
Yep. 100%. Same. We're not buying 2. Like, I'm just not interested. So if Paul will take me out, that works for me. This was a good one. Tight 88, he's a super huge fan of BFS. I think Tight 88 might be the biggest fan
He's here
of BFS
He's in
I've
chat.
ever met in my whole life.
No.
I know.
Amir.
It's completely opposite. Tight 88 hates BFS. But he asks, what do you consider budget rod and reels? And what is your favorite budget rod and reel? He says he thinks he knows the answer. We'll see if we're correct because he's in chat. But what is budget rod and reel? I would say it has changed. The ideal budget rod and reel is more likely like $150 combo. Like, I think you want to spend you can get away with 100, but typically between the 100 150 mark, you start to see like significant.
I used to tell
components.
people like go get an ugly stick, and there's nothing wrong
I don't
with that.
anymore.
But I don't tell people that anymore. I really don't. And like I'm just probably getting snobbish, so I think that's probably what it is. If it's somebody who's buying their first fishing pole, then yes. Like,
is there like I don't even know if I like this.
Yeah,
then
I would be like, yeah, go get
a lot
ugly
of
stick,
money.
get a $40, $60 rod or whatever. But
exactly
these days, I would have told you before that $100 rod is like a super good value, right? That's what I would have told you. Yep. I agree with Jeff. I think 150 is like the true value point. And it's probably going to be some type of combo. Like I think the Shimano combos, like $200. Like I don't know if you can beat that. It's so hard to like say that to think you can beat that. It's tough. So it'll probably be $125 to $150 combo of some sort, where you buy the same brand rod and reel.
So the issue is I don't fish any of those right now because we have mostly monster bass and Akuma setups, which do not fall into that category. The closest I would say is like it's going to be a Stamar spinning reel. And do I have a rod that is technically budget right now? I don't think so. I don't think I do.
No, but I mean, like a Vengeance, I think is probably
Veritas even.
That's what I meant. Sorry, the Veritas.
The
is
Veritas
probably
is like the $80. Somebody's gonna be like, it's 120, you idiot. Like,
no, but that's the Veritas.
It's the sub 100.
The Veritas is the one. Like I
would
had one
say
of those
Abu,
for years. They're really nice.
Abu has a lot
solid.
of great options.
Way more than I think. Lose
lower.
is like on the higher end, but not much. But it's like 20% higher even for their combos.
Like you could get the American Hero, but like you're not going to be that.
That's not a value to me. I think you've thrown away some of your money.
Not. And even the Crush series is like I've gotten them all, and
those are overpriced.
I don't like them.
I
don't like them. So yeah, I would say like probably Abu.
It's going to be some pure fishing combo.
Yeah, you can get like an SLX, the newer SLX A for 100, right?
Well, that's the thing. I think
you're going to do a $200 budget, right? Like, so it'd be SLX plus.
Even the Shimano rod, they're like $99 pretty much everywhere. So for $200, you're getting like
that'd be a killer combo, though.
You're getting a pretty quality setup. Like it's pretty friggin' good, man. Like
there's a million answers.
The upcharge version, but I think going for the Abu Garcia, like the Max X combo, is what I would say. The Max X. It's going to be like 100. It's going to be 150 ish, and you're getting a really nice setup. So that's probably what I would say.
Yep, got it. All right. So Baraka is saying, point out John Kilbourne's comment. Chaz, do you have that? You do. Thank you. Got it. So John Kilbourne, 2 questions. I'll get to them right now. Guys, where do you like to fish more? I guess I would say lakes, rivers, or ponds.
Because yes to all. Rivers is probably Rivers is number 1. Ponds number 2. Lakes number 3.
Yeah, as frustrated as I was this weekend, it was for different reasons than the river. Going under logs was the freaking coolest thing in the world. The Sholey.
What did you think of the video? How it turned out? It turned out okay. The short.
The short. Oh, you going under the log? Yeah, no, I think that turned out good. What you don't see in the video is Paul setting up to go under this log. Right, it was crossing the river, but there was like a very shallow, as in 2 inches, maybe less, maybe an inch next to him section of like weeds, and I just paddled full speed and shot across that as he was going under the log. So there's many different ways you can go on the river. That's what makes it so cool. I was going down back creeks, so rivers all day, number 1. And then I guess if lakes means like big water, like ponds, and then lakes for me, because I like to kayak fish. If I was in a boat, lakes just gives you so many more opportunities. Like it is the better piece of water if you want to like be more productive, but you got to have a motor. If we put motors on our kayaks, that might change that. So he did have another one. So he said, my best fishing I have ever done was with my girlfriend and her son. He's 13.
Oh, wow.
And he has a very high level of autism. He just loved it. Okay, not a question, just a fantastic life moment. Thank you for sharing that. You guys, Paul, I have this for you, by the way. Don, our buddy from Autism Angler, sent us new big stickers that are
I needed one because my truck one is dead.
Bro, no, you're not putting it in your truck. It goes in your boat. They're right and left. Goes on both sides of your boat. Yes. Bro, I'm so excited. When they came in the mail, I got so pumped up.
But how am I supposed to pick which kayak?
You got to make a choice, man. I
can't pick between my kids.
Yeah, you can. I'm kidding.
How dare you?
Let's be real. I'm kidding.
Brooks, go on.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, okay. Couple random ones from chat I want to throw out. So we got Andy Ramey. Any plans on reviewing the Hybo Arise Air BFS, which is similar to the ARC BFS that just came out. Same braking system, which I have already paid for. So I have the ARC BFS I have in November
right now.
So you're going to do the Hybo? Because then we could put them head to head. Bing, bang, boom. Or any AliExpress BFS casting rods? No.
That's the only place honestly, you can get the Hybo, though, isn't it?
Hybo? Oh, is that only on Ali?
I think so. Sure? I'm pretty
okay, well, if that's the only way I could do that. Rods, though, I'm not really interested in ordering rods from those sites. I'm honestly, Because like it just makes me so nervous. Like I just don't want to deal with that. Certainly not from Temu, and plenty of people have asked me to do that, and I ain't doing it. I don't really want to do any more of those videos anyways.
What? Which ones? Sorry.
I don't want to play the sound. Do you want me to say the name?
No.
Chaz is gonna play the sound.
No.
Just
Yeah, we're done with that.
Chad, do you want the sound? You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't know about that. He did mention the I don't even know what this is. Mavlos plume. No idea. But we will look that up, Andy. We're gonna figure that out.
I always thought the Hybo was like not as expensive.
How much is it? 200?
It's like $150 to $200. 125 in some places, but like that doesn't seem good.
We'll do more research. How about that? And we'll talk to Amir over at Bait Finesse Empire. We'll figure it out.
On eBay,
we'll figure it out.
$260.
Well, don't buy it there. Anyways, and then we have Rob Harrison, aka insert humorous name here. Clever. He asks, favorite cut of steak.
Oh boy, that's a whole other show.
Oh no.
No. I think so I personally it depends on the setting. So if I'm at like a work dinner or something like that, where I'm around people, I'm gonna get a fillet. Right. So if I have to be presentable or I'm wearing a nice pair of slacks, I'm getting a fillet. If I'm by myself or if I'm with someone I'm comfortable with, it's gonna be the porterhouse every time.
I knew it.
The porterhouse is the most underrated cut of steak. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh gosh.
What's wrong? You got something to say about my answer?
You have an answer for each setting in life that you might be in.
You don't?
And you don't see any issue with this. That's my problem. You're like, all right,
all.
Real quick question back to you. Where am I? What time of day is it? Am I wearing slacks? That's the part that got me. What's your favorite cut of steak? I don't know. Am I wearing slacks?
So what's yours? What do you got?
Oh, I can't top that. I would
top it.
I mean, fillets are fantastic. I'm just a steak and potatoes kind of guy, so I'm kind of a New York strip dude. I'm just like, give me a good old strip cooked well, and I'm a super happy boy. All right,
there you go.
I'm a simple man. I don't.
What if you're wearing slacks?
I'm not eating steak. Wow, that's the off the rails at least, right, Chaz? How many off the rails have we done? Are we low? Don't worry. Slowing Thunder is going to fix everything. Great.
So far, so good.
So the off the rails counter is off the rails, is what you're saying. I got it. Good. Let's do this one. So I just like this name too. Beartaria? I'm going to go with Beartaria kayak angling, which is just neat. Couple of questions. Medium-sized UPF 50 sun shirt with no hood, medium sized, or a properly sized sun shirt with a hood. I feel like he's baiting you.
God.
Just saying. Medium only, skin tight.
What day of the week is it?
Am I wearing slacks? That's the new go-to. I don't know. Am I wearing slacks?
Slacks or not?
I don't know. Are you? Well, that's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, okay. If you're gonna put me in that bucket, no hood.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I would say it depends on the material, because some of those materials, if it's too tight, they literally like suction and then hold all the sweat to your flesh. That's not ideal. So you know me, dude. I'm a hood all day.
So you know the Drake shirts?
Yeah.
They're still my favorite fitting shirt. The tight sleeve that has like the baggy body. I love those shirts. It's
literally the opposite of what I want. I want the dogs to breathe, not this area.
But the inside strip is that super mesh. I have no problem with that at all. It's wonderful.
Never sweat or been more uncomfortable in a shirt in my life.
I've never been more comfortable.
Out immediately.
I've never been. I wear them all the time. They're great, and it's still the best hoodie, top tier.
Hoodie's a different story. They are super baggy in the waist, though. Not a fan of that. But the hoodie's pretty comfortable. I do like it. All right, so then We'll see if this next question is good. It might be. Okay, this is good. He's got some clever ones. You drop a large stick of jerky over the side of the yak, but it floats. Do you eat it?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Do you guys watch
I would
me?
also agree.
Did you guys watch us cook our dinner in a bag
With
of pond water?
Mhm.
It's like, I have no fear.
You don't drink the water, you guys. It's just, it was outside of the food, which was encased.
I need to go look at that. I need to go watch that video again. I need to dig that up.
You guys want to have like a throwback, a little fun one? We did a 3-part video series that we did over a weekend camping. It's probably 2 or 3 years ago now.
Yep.
There's a night fishing video.
Yep.
There's eating all the MREs video. Like we just tried a whole bunch of MREs.
I dumped one all over myself.
It's true. I think we were like 2 years too early for that trend because now everybody's living out of their trucks and camping on the water. It was like, we did that and it got 0 views. So whatever. Go watch Fishing with Becca if you want to see real camping videos and enjoy them more than ours. But if you want to see ours, you can go back and see that. It's in there. And then, yeah, it was a really cool chain of lakes. We caught some big fish, super windy, tons of pike. And I sacrificed at least 4 jackhammers. So if you want to see that, at my wallet cry, you can go check that out. So I would eat that as well. Third question. Who wins? Oh, this is not even a question. Who wins the hot wings eating contest in heat and quantity? Best non-traditional wing flavor. So that's actually a 3-part question.
3-part.
Okay, so who wins on heat?
It's going to be me.
It's going to be
not
Paul.
A question. That was never in contention.
Who wins on quantity? Am I wearing slacks?
Am I wearing slacks?
Because if I mean business, how much time do I have? Because I have put down 100 wings, and I will do it again.
That's right. Look, man, it's probably going to be me.
In all honesty, I feel given enough time. If time is not an issue, I can beat you on quantity.
Maybe, yeah.
But if time is an issue, I will lose because Paul will eat everything in.
Does I have a strategy for how I eat my wings? I do the squeeze.
I don't do that. You do that.
I could just rip up.
If it was timed, Paul would win. I have seen him. Have we told you guys about the Denny's trip at ICAST? When Paul excitedly showed me how he eat eggs with a spoon and he slurps it like an inhale, you guys. Like he scoops a full fried egg, right? And he just goes,
the guy, the one punch?
Yeah.
That's like me with eggs.
It's disgusting. Most disgusting thing I've ever had to witness sitting in
I think I ate that whole meal. I don't think the waitress left our table and got the 17 feet to the kitchen. I was already done with the eggs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, there you go. Probably heat, quantity, Paul. Best non-traditional wing flavor. Non-traditional is like a gray area. I don't know.
As far as like flavor, like we're picking a flavor.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know. There's many options.
I got one for you. Cajun dry rub, like a Cajun dry rub.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's off the beaten path.
Not like Old Spice or not Old Spice. Oh my God.
Definitely not that. Old Bay? No,
Old
that's
Bay,
disgusting. That's not
deodorant. Would you spice it with deodorant though? I'm just curious.
Like a fresh mango? No. I would be,
how about some borax? What do you think
about that? Yeah. Do you have Dawn dish soap flavor? No, we don't, sir. What kind of place is this?
You're gonna need 20 mule team back there. Like I would really like that.
You got any barkeepers friend back there? Just dust them on.
Some Ajax. No.
God.
Come on.
Lemon pepper is super underrated. Someone said. I like that a lot.
I like the garlic parmesan, Elizabeth Z. Garlic parmesan is pretty good
though, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was like. I was like defined because mango habanero is something that I love.
The dry rub, no one ever has it. And it's so underrated. Sauced wings are overrated. Dry rub wings are underrated.
If it's done well, I'm on board 100%. I am with you on that.
Yeah.
So they're great food questions, you guys.
Good
I
ones.
love that. I'm gonna pick one more from YouTube, and then we're gonna do Slow Rolling Thunder, and then
Yes.
we've got our $25 Schmift card that we're gonna
Schmiffaway.
give you for the Schmiffaway. So monsterbass.com, $25, good for anything on the website except for the subscription itself. I would put it towards a rod, perhaps an ultralight rod that will be dropping at some undisclosed date that we don't even know yet. So don't ask us. I wish we did. That was one of the questions that came
was
up
one of the
too. It
questions.
was like,
I mean,
when's the
I'm happy
ultralight
to
live?
say, like,
Yeah,
we've done everything that we can do as far as giving guidance. We're
we're done. It's
now
hands
basically
off.
at the mercy of Monster Bass and have been for a month and a half, 2
Yep.
months. So we are bothering them. I'm at a point now where I'm willing to just say, like, Rick, I don't care about anything. I just want to make the rod. Just do whatever you have to do. Don't change it.
Yeah.
Just make it.
Yes. True. All right. This last question is, does Chaz have a real name?
This has been explained on the show.
Well, this is for maybe people who haven't heard that. Maybe people
Actually,
are
you
new
know
to
what?
the
I
show.
take it back. On this show, it's never been explained.
I
It
think
was
it's only on
explained on
members
the
only.
Burly Fishing podcast.
Oh, on the Dead Show. So,
Yeah,
Chaz, it's up to you. Would you like to
Do you want to
say
tell
your
people
name?
your first name?
Okay, so Chaz has given us
So let's just
permission.
explain the genesis of Chaz here, okay? So Chaz is my responsibility, all right? I'm willing to take ownership of this. I think this is me. Pretty sure I came up
Entirely?
with, yeah,
Chaz.
100%.
Chaz.
Actually, let's think about it this way.
Classic
No,
Paul
his name.
taking
Just his
full
name.
ownership of everything that's good in this world.
Just the
I
name.
probably can't. Was I wearing slacks? Probably came up with it myself.
Then definitely not, because I'm not
Freaking
at
frack.
tip-top form in slacks mentally. So I'll take
Oh,
responsibility for the
God.
name of Chaz.
Mhm.
His name is Chad, okay? But he had given himself the moniker the Wizard of Chaz because of all the
Yes.
things that he does
Mhm.
behind the scenes, right?
He's a man behind
in his little
the curtain.
cabinet
Yep.
and with his
Like
technology,
the Wizard of Oz. You
like
get
the
it.
Wizard of Oz, like the actual wizard. And then we started calling him the Wizard of Chaz, which obviously you could see. And
That
then we just
stuck.
got rid of the wizard. So he's just Chaz.
And it is spelled capital CH underscore capital OZ.
And usually it's, if you can't do the capital, sometimes it's 0Z. So
Sometimes
I can't
it's a
confirm or
0.
deny, but sometimes it's 0Z.
It's one of two ways. We don't know which, but there you go. And in chat, he is F7 Sandman, so you can.
And he is absolutely a wizard. That actually, we shouldn't have taken that off. We should have left that off.
But then we have to be like, "Hey, Wizard of Chaz, take us out!" Like that's too.
He
long.
earned it. Okay, I can't. I don't make the rules.
I don't write the script here. All right. Okay. So there you go. Those are all fantastic questions. Burly Fishing isn't dead. It will live forever within the OG nerds. Thank you, Rocket Blades. Is still available, and I still do get. We work with Waypoint Collective, which is a collective of a bunch of amazing podcasts. You guys should go check them out. There's a lot of other ones out there, like Tom Rowland, and a whole bunch of fantastic peoples. And they send me like my invoice for being a part of the thing every month.
Yes.
And it still says Burly Fishing and Aggressively Average Anglers.
But it won't in like a month.
Yeah. Does it actually die from the airwaves?
I didn't renew it for next year.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there's limited time left to watch or listen to 117 episodes. You can watch them forever on YouTube.
Yes, exactly.
They're there. Great times back in the day. Anyways, let's get to this. So if you haven't started chatting, you need to do that. You have to type something in the chat window if you want to be qualified for the random draw to win the $25 gift card. Now, as you guys chat, we're going to ask one or two of these. We'll see how well you guys are chatting before we like decide to do the draw. I want to make sure everybody gets your chance to qualify here. Slow Rolling Thunder. So, question number 1.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you this question. I want you just guess. If you don't know, just guess.
Oh.
What is a dupe? Do you know what a dupe is?
I know what the word dupe means.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you put this in all caps.
Yep.
I'm deducing that this is a thing that's not a service or a person This is a brand of wallpaper. Is it? Did I get it? Did I get it?
It's so far left. Oh my god! I believe it's a brand of wallpaper. Oh my gosh!
Am I right?
Oh no, you are not.
No,
you are not correct.
no way. So wait,
a lot of people are saying the word that used to get people banned on YouTube, poop. It is not that. I didn't say deuce. I said dupe. D-U-P-E. So a dupe is this new-ish term being used for knockoff products, duplicates.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a duplicate product, right? I was trying to give you a hint. This is a fake Stanley. It's not.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
All,
you don't have to.
White Girl Summer. We talked about it last episode.
I'm on the lingo. Yes.
Yeah. Big old Stanley.
The motorboat.
$20.
Dupe. No.
Is it? Of what?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
I thought it was interesting just because like the whole Temu saga that we went on, that is over because it got really annoying and heated in the comments.
It was
so
fun,
interesting.
Those videos were a ton of fun.
I would love to do it if people would just calm down. Like me not liking it doesn't mean that you don't have to not like it.
Yeah,
but like people got so offended that I didn't like this Chinese crap. Anyways, some of it caught fish. And we gave it credit where credit was due. Okay, but let's be real.
I like how I get in trouble for being the mean one.
You are the mean one most of the time. At any rate, so I thought it was interesting because we ran into a bunch of dupes, right? Like on there. And then, obviously like this little Stanley I had. And then there's lots of other products that we've come across in the past. But here's the question on that, right? So I just wanted to see what you thought it was. What do you got there, guy?
The dupe.
What, a dupe of what? Oh, the Whopper Flopper. You guys don't remember the Whopper Flopper?
So this was the
what about the Whack Hammer?
The Whack Hammer was the one that got me going. So there's the Whopper Flopper.
Don't worry, I got a Whack Hammer right here, buddy. So there's that. I caught fish on that. I also caught fish on the Whopper Flopper.
This is the
best one was the Baby Dark Sleeper.
This bait right here is my second best post of like the year,
which is insane. I mean, come on.
There's 9 eyes.
Yeah. So anyways, the question was about dupes, right? If we take all the dupes that you're aware of into context here, when are you okay with buying a dupe?
Me personally, or you're me like, with someone else buying a dupe?
You personally, like Yeti, for example. Like you're like, okay,
Ozark Trail, better than Yeti. Not a joke.
Okay,
I'm dead serious.
But that was the example I used, so you can't use that as your answer. So what other example do you have where you're
what other are good or not okay? Like, am I looking for bad examples or good examples?
No, that you're okay. You're like, I'm going to buy the dupe, not the original in this case.
Good question.
I'm going to on purpose.
What are my favorite dupes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. That's a good question. Okay. All right. Man, this is hard. Off the cuff.
Right?
Oh, God.
Because I'll agree with you on the top one. It's like any one of these, as long as it's actually double wall insulated and holds ice, which many do and many don't, you got to know the brand. You got to know which ones do. Just read reviews.
You're wearing one right now. Zip up sweaters, like the DSG brand, the Target brand.
That's a great example.
Oh my God, they slap. I'll give you another one that's actually almost all retail clothing. So here's one.
Yep.
So I used to buy that stuff back in the day. When you buy Target brand, I can say Target brand because I know this is a fact. When you buy Target brand and a lot of other knockoffs, when you do that, you're actually buying from the exact same factories with the exact same labor that's making the super high-end stuff, and they get all their materials from the same sources. They just buy slightly less expensive versions of it, and then there's no branding, and you're getting basically the same, almost the same things. So clothing, just in general, yes. Another one, where like cereal, and also the best one that everyone should do, generic drugs. Like aspirin.
Like
Don't buy
Walgreens,
Tylenol.
right?
Buy non-brand,
The
like
Rite
store
Aid, the
brand. Yeah,
Walgreens,
100%.
yeah.
Do that.
And for that, just
Toothpaste.
read the label. Like the label is exactly the same.
Big
like
one on that one. Big
good.
for me.
Yeah.
Food is like a 50-50
Fruity
though.
O's.
I'm a
It is.
50-50 on the food.
So
it's not all the time though.
It's an interesting category to me, like fishing, right? Because I feel like for us, the big thing about a lot of the Temu stuff that we got is that, yes, it's cheaper, but also like the quality just wasn't there. Could it catch fish? Yeah, it's got hooks on it. Of course it can catch fish. It makes noise, has hooks, mimics the action to an extent. Some of them, I'll give credit where credit's due. Like some of them do what they're supposed to do. The durability is trash. Like they won't hold up. If they're cheaper, I guess you just buy them in bulk. But do we end up at some point, spending the same as we would have with the quality brand, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm in and out on that. Like there are some where I'm like, okay, totally. Like that's fine. A lot of people are using non-Gary Yamamoto Senkos, for example. Like, sure, there are plenty of great Zoom plastics
Neds
all day.
Honestly. Like
Neds.
Other than the stretchy, like just all Neds are Neds.
I mean, let's be real. Z-Man Neds are not expensive. Like it's $4.99 and you get like 8 or 10 of them.
I'm
and
just
they
making
last
a point though that
forever.
like just making a point, right? Like,
I think Worms Flukes, for example, are a great option. Like you can get Zoom Flukes, some of my absolute all-time favorite.
That's not
Flukes
a knockoff though. That's just cheaper.
Yeah. There's another like gray area there for sure.
A brand, yeah.
What's like a good modern dupe? Like you could walk into.
I'm trying to think of like a cell phone,
or Dicks,
like a tablet knockoff. Or like a TV brand,
but I'm not okay with that.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying.
Electronics, never. Every time.
Well,
hang on. So the Amazon Fire tablets,
wireless headphones.
You'll say because you have that one brand.
The king
I'm
of
with
dupe.
you on that.
King of dupe on those, and I beat the stuffing out of my headphones.
That's an area where
they're great.
That's an area where headphones, the technology really doesn't change that much from this brand to this brand. These are Sony's. They're charging me because it says Sony.
I have like Nowcoms or something. I don't
exactly. Like most of these are very similar.
But
like
wireless
these are
headphones,
wireless noise canceling. So
I buy $20 ones. They last for about 4 years, and I kick the crap out of them, and they're great. But
like the greatest example is Beats. Like I've never been happy with a pair of Beats headphones. Like
and I've spent $20 on my headphones, and they're great.
Yeah. And then like tablets, my example would be the Amazon Fire tablets. They're good for about 6 months, and then they just tank. They're just awful. And like, people say Apple with the updates, they actually got in trouble for that. So they're because they were restricting,
slowing down
they're slowing them down. Yeah. It was everybody knew it. And it was just the dirty secret we all just put up with.
You were like, oh, here comes my update. Not doing that for 6 months because then I can keep my phone.
I got in trouble for that. I don't know. Interesting. So I don't know.
Else? So what do you pay up? What do you pay up for?
John Long says Chatterbait. See, I hear you, and there's sometimes, but honestly, I'll spend up on Chatterbait because I want it to do what it's supposed to do.
Z-Man original, baby.
That whack hammer was super not cool.
But I don't like spending up for those. I only buy them on sale. I can't justify full price for a Chatterbait.
You find them on sale all the time, though. Like, just pick.
That's what I'm saying.
Your sale price
I'm paying up, but I can't. I won't pay all the way up.
Being on sale versus being a dupe, totally different.
I know. No, I'm agreeing with not dupey, but like I cannot.
Yeah.
And I'll just go without.
Yeah. Go to Ollie's, John. Exactly. Ollie's all day. I meant to go to one. Maybe it was when you and I were out. We passed one.
We drove right by one.
We had negative 5 hours of time left, so I was like, I want to go in there, but we didn't get a chance. At some point, I will for sure. Okay, I've done it once. I'll do it again.
I would never buy a dupe kayak. I would never buy a dupe life jacket. I would never buy a dupe paddle.
We still have to get a Temu kayak at some point. have to. I I have zero interest in that. Yeah, hard agree. Would not. And also a great example of that is anybody who's seen like the fin pedal kayaks, right? Similar to the Hobie Drive. From what we hear, we'll say through the grapevine, all those duplicate drives are trash. And like, let's be real, we broke our Hobie drives. So I mean, I don't know, but they held up really well for a long time. If that's giving credit where credit's due, they should have lasted a lot longer. And the warranty is trash. But that said, those dupe drives are 10 times worse from what we hear.
I mean, there's no comparing the Hobie Drive. And like honestly, so I'm selling my Hobie.
Mm-hmm.
And even Haley was like, "Are you sure you want to sell that?" And I was like, "In a way, I don't want to." I actually was just watching a video. I was editing a video of Jeff and his Hobie, and I was like, "Man, I already miss that. Like it's been
Having all
months
that
since I've
space.
used it, and like the drop-in bin is great, and the rod storage is unreal, and yeah, it's great." But I will say this, like I really took it to heart. Someone gave us the feedback. They were like, "You guys aren't really aggressively average. Like if you're rolling around in $15,000 worth of kayak," and I'm like, you know what? That's such a great point. Like, how can you connect with somebody that's like fishing in a kayak that's 5 to 7 times the value of what you're gonna buy? I'm like, I respect. And it's not, and I may get back into one or I may build one that is more expensive later. But I actually really took that to heart. And I'm like, dude, I'm totally like, I'm doing this for a season at least, and I'm gonna fish in a boat that's less than 3,000.
And I agree. Like, and the Shoaly is that for me, and I'm not adding
Nope.
anything else to it.
Yeah.
And I still want to get an in-between boat. And like we had this talk, and I was like, we need to get out of these Hobies. Like they're just not. I mean, one, like the company's not going to help us anymore. The warranties are dead. So it's like,
Well, and just so
pretty
people
much
know, like
toast, but
when I sell my boat, I'm selling it with what I'll do is the person I sell it to, I'm going to
yep,
send you a brand new, like out of the box, I'm going to send you a brand new
a
drive.
day one drive.
You will get a
Yeah.
drive that has never been touched by anyone
Yep.
except for quality control from Hobie. Like that's what
Yep.
you're going to get from me. So you will get the best possible scenario from me.
I love it.
So if
All right.
anyone wants to buy a Hobie 360 and like is down to fish like literally the best kayak setup that you can get, there's one for sale.
Where
Right
where
here.
would I go?
You can DM me and we'll set you up.
I'll give you $50.
That's
Fair?
low. Little low.
I don't know. Am I wearing slacks?
Higher.
51.
This has turned into this wouldn't have happened if I was wearing my Crocs.
This wouldn't have happened if I was wearing my Crocs. That's another shirt idea. What was the shirt idea we came up with last week? And then we'll do our draw.
Pops, plops, and pops.
Props, plops, and pops. Yep. And it's like, you guys remember those shirts from Spencer's that's like square, like cartoon images, Spencer's Gifts or Hot Topic or whatever. Whopper plopper, prop bait, popper. We got you guys. Don't worry. Coming in hot. We haven't made a new shirt in a long time. Also, I want to make aggressively average angler stickers, so stay tuned for that.
I need to do that super bad.
All right, Chaz, shall we roll it? We shall. Brando Calrissian. I love the name.
What?
Brando Calrissian. Oh, wow. Chat, all hail Brando Calrissian for the name.
Everyone else should be embarrassed, including me, about their name.
Dude, that's a huge dub. Dang. All right. Well, Brando, please be here. Please be present.
Yeah, I want to give you something.
That would be very disappointing. I've been on a journey here. The ups and downs of this journey. Don't make
we
me
do have one other
this.
question while we're waiting for him.
Yep.
He's here. Oh, he's here.
Thank goodness.
We got him.
Great name, dude. Follow the instructions on the screen. Chaz will send you that gift card. Congrats, man. And also rock that name.
Trademark it quickly.
You want to roll out with this last question?
No, we're good. We'll save it for next time.
All right. You guys are going to have to wait for next time. Next time
on another
Aggressively Average Anglers. We both in the same place. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, nerds. Thanks for appreciating my new neon sign that gets kind of washed out on my terrible webcam. One day, maybe we'll get a fancy camera setup. Probably not. Probably not. So we've got lots of stuff coming to you guys' way. We're going to be working on a fun little project here where we're going to try and just rip out like a whole bunch of good, informative, wow, fancy that, good, informative videos, like evergreen content, stuff that, you know, you could refer to anytime you want, just on our experience with kayaks, fishing, etc. So stay tuned for that. We got projects in the works. Paul has about 48 boxes behind him there that we also have to unbox. So to the person that says, do you only unbox and review products from companies? Yes, we in fact do. We do that. So stay tuned for those things. And we do have a members only live coming up September 12th.
Yep.
I'm throwing a number there. I think I'm correct. Chaz? Yes. Great.
12th.
September 12th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So if you're a member, be there or be square, we're going to open it up for everybody who's a member. All the Burly Elites, the Sharkdeucers, the Snorlaxers, and here's the deal, though. If you're Snorlaxer, you might get a special schmiveaway only for Snorlaxers. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're doing. That's like the best way to do schmiveaways.
Can we do that?
Yeah. Chaz has the names of everybody. So I can be like, you're a Snorlaxer. You're in the schmiveaway. But we'll do a schmiveaway for everybody, too. There just might be an extra special.
Wow.
Extra special.
We have been talking to you guys about doing more schmiveaways just on the members only.
Yep. So we take care of our members. We take care of our own. I got family. All right, you guys. That's it. Chaz, take us out of here. Love you guys. Bye.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a